Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Can and can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars on the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Can and can in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. We live that loud, that break in the mind. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploded like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, their foes can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Ken and Ken in the Morning. Slow off-season days are here. It appears. There we go. Help if I type when I'm reposting this. There we go. Morning, Fred. I'm not sure where Joe or Ken are this morning. I think Ken might have some physical therapy. So Justin Fields trade happened yesterday. Outside of that, pretty quiet day. Pretty quiet. Hope you all got your coffee. Nothing new on the Bears Stadium news. I need to double check. It's just been. Is it June yet? I swear it feels like it. No, nothing new on the Bears Stadium. I mean, how? Okay, here we go. The Bears. Now we're saying that Illinois has till the end of March. There's Joe. Morning, Joe.
What's up, dude?
I guess the Bears are saying that the state of Illinois have basically until the end of March to come up with something.
They're giving them extensions on deadlines that they don't deserve.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they took the bar.
It just shows you, it just shows you how far they're bending over backwards for Illinois, like how bad they how much they're acting in good faith, I should say, right? Like they've literally, if Illinois drops the ball on this one, there's no way that you could say the Bears didn't give them every last opportunity to stay in Illinois.
Joe, am I wrong in saying they set the bar super low for the state of Illinois?
I mean, it's not just setting the bar low. You have another deal that's actually a better deal for you. Well, a comparable deal. I won't say a better deal necessarily for you, because I actually like the Arlington Heights deal for the Bears because you'll own the stadium outright. Yeah. Whereas on the other side, we already discussed the potentialities there, right? Like you breach the contract in any way over the next 20 years, all of a sudden now Indiana owns the stadium, and so it's, yeah, I like the deal for the Bears for Arlington Heights for that reason, but it's just going to be another nightmare dealing with the Illinois Congress for the next 30 years.
Good morning, Will. I get the whole breach the deal thing, but dude, I mean, seriously, like breaching the deal. I mean, what if they breach the deal? What if they don't? That's what I love about the what if arguments. Well, what if we have the draft? Or not? Well, what if we don't, because we haven't used it since Vietnam, and what we're doing right now doesn't require a draft. I mean, if we were going to have a draft, it would have been during OIF, OEF, and we still didn't have a draft. I love the what about arguments, because it's just like, well, what if? All right, well, what if the state of Illinois got off their ass and actually did the right thing and got the stadium bill passed? I mean, what about that what if? And what gets me is you've got politicians in the city of Chicago going, we will not vote for a Bears stadium built in Arlington Heights unless they built in Chicago itself. It's like, You're that selfish and that stupid.
Yeah,
That you'll
and
cost the entire state, a team. Go ahead, Will.
I just can't. I just can't fathom the Bears playing in another state than Chicago. It just feels weird to me, and it just wouldn't seem right to me.
What I don't know what the new stadium's gonna be called. Soldier Field was dedicated to obviously soldiers. It was a memorial for those who, to those who have served and will serve. And it's a national landmark as well.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know. They'll still look at. Believe it or not, Soldier Field's not the full name, right? Because they sold the naming rights.
no, it's
Soldier Field presented by whoever, is how they call it, I think. But the new stadium, that's part of the thing. The Bears wanted to own it because then they control the naming rights, which
Yeah.
means they can sell the rights to it, which means that would make more revenue. So, we're talking back in the day, like 20 years ago, you would spend like 20 million for the naming rights for 5 years.
yeah.
I don't know what the going rate is right now. Someone might be able to tell me. But
A
the
lot more than
Bears,
that.
oh yeah, a lot more. But the Raiders are making a ton of money in
Mhm.
Vegas for Allegiant by selling the naming rights and calling it Allegiant Stadium. Mark Davis got paid. The Raiders got paid, right? So the Bears would own those naming rights. So you spend $3 billion on a stadium. You sell the naming rights for $100 million a year over 5 years. Well, you just recovered a portion of your building cost.
Yeah. Well, and not just that, but it's also every event that's held there. Now they're coming to you to they have to book it through you. Like, hey, we want to use your stadium for this monster truck rally or this concert or this whatever. Now it's like, okay, well, we want this percentage of the tickets. We want this percentage of this. Like, and I'm sure that it's a worked out rate, but still, like that money would be going to the city instead of going to the Bears. But if the Bears stay in Arlington, it goes to the Bears. Like, that's a huge revenue machine, dude. Like, having a stadium, a brand new stadium that everybody, because if you have the newest stadium in the state, everybody's going to want to do things there. WrestleMania, everything.
NCAA Final Fours. You're going to get
Super Bowl,
WrestleMania, Big Ten Championship Week, game or whatever. You're going to get Comic-Con, the Chicago Comic-Con, whatever they call it, the one in Chicago, probably move there, bigger space. I mean, you're going to get all kinds of stuff. I mean, concerts, you name it, right?
Mhm.
Specialty games like, if the U.S. national soccer team
You
has
can host the NFL draft.
No,
Maybe.
That's more the
draft
facility.
isn't
Not
dependent on your stadium. The draft is just they want to move it around from NFL city to NFL city to create to drum up support from locals, I guess, versus
Mhm.
it just
True.
being in New York all the time like it used to. Yeah, this whole idea of renaming Lambeau, though, Kraft Lambeau, Sargento Lambeau, but that's what they'll do is kind of what Fred's alluding to, Steve. It'll be like Lambeau Field presented by Cow Tippers of America.
Yeah, like what is it?
Presented by Dairy
The
Farmers of
Bronco
America.
Stadium is what is it called? Sports Authority Field, which
at
is
Mile
owned by
High.
Sports Authority
It's
at
called
Mile
something
High.
field at Mile High. Yeah.
Even the Chiefs' current home isn't Arrowhead anymore.
No,
It's Gehu at Arrowhead or whatever it is. It's like they'll do something. They would do something like that, Steve. So, I mean, look at everyone here would still call it Lambeau. People still call Soldier Field, even though it has, Soldier Field brought to you by Capital One or whoever it is they got to do it. But the new stadium, that's a good question. What would they name it? Walter Payton Field, Sweetness Field? I mean, or they'll just straight up go, nope, it's Blue Cross Blue Shield Stadium, or something like. I mean, but they'll make all the money.
Google.com stadium.
Yeah, I'm surprised Google doesn't own a stadium.
you know what
That's
it
what I'm
should be?
saying.
It should be Ken in the Morning Stadium.
Actually, you guys want to hear
Stadium.
you want to hear a good funny story about naming a stadium. So when I lived in St. Louis, that's when the Rams were there. And TWA, the dome was the TWA dome. For those who don't remember, Trans World Airlines was a pretty big airline in the 70s, 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. It kind of died. At the turn of the century, it was dying. So they put a bidding war out to rename the dome because TWA was gone. So there was a bidding war. You guys want to know what it ended up being called? The Edward Jones Dome. Edward Jones actually won the bid.
Oh.
I think it was $20 million is what they paid. But you know what almost won the naming rights for the dome in St. Louis?
What?
GoDaddy Stadium.
No, it was almost called the Dirt Cheap Dome.
Oh God!
Because there's a local liquor store chain in the St. Louis area called Dirt Cheap. Cheap, cheap. The commercials were funny. Dirt cheap, dirt cheap. They'd sell cheap beer, cheap liquor. They almost won the naming. It was almost the Dirt Cheap Dome.
That's very St. Louis of them.
That would have been such bad advertising.
Dude, that's very St. Louis. It's very on brand for St. Louis.
It is. It should have been called the Redneck Center.
Can I throw something out there, dude? It's not related to stadiums, but it's just sort of a pet peeve of mine because yesterday I saw people are just absolutely, some of these quote unquote pundits are just absolutely, so I guess I better start. So there's still trade rumors about Max Crosby going around, even though he's already said that he's with the Raiders, even though the Raiders have already put out a statement saying they have no intention to trade Max Crosby. There's still rumors going around. And the first rumor is that John Spytek is still receiving phone calls and that that people are still calling him. And what he said is, no, the original price still stands. I want 2 first-round picks and a young player. And these pundits are outraged. Like, how dare the Raiders try to get fair market value for a top 5 player at his position with a team-friendly contract for 3 more years? Like, they should be selling him for a ham sandwich. This is ridiculous. Like,
it gives these idiots. I'm sorry, I used the wrong word. These retards. That's a much better word. It gives these retards something to fill their airwaves with when they make millions of dollars to do what we're doing basically for free right now. I mean, they have to get these people to watch somehow. So, it's like shock radio. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's a dumbass take. How dare they try to get value for a guy they value? I mean, it's kind of like, how dare the men and women of the military get a steak and lobster dinner every so often? Oh my God. The fraud, waste, and abuse that we feed our soldiers who defend our freedom. A good meal every so often outside of the normal slop we get in the chow hall. Well, chow hall food's not terrible, but still, it's not the best food ever. If you want to know what chow hall food is like, imagine eating your high school lunch line every day, and that's all you get. 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. Actually, that's not true. On Sunday, it's just brunch and dinner. So it's only 2 meals that day. I mean, come on. It's like these morons have to have something to bitch about. So they're gonna bitch about that. They're gonna bitch about soldiers being fed. They're gonna bitch about the naming rights of a stadium. They're gonna bitch about, well, what if they actually break the contract? Well, then they break the contract and suffer the consequences. I mean, that's not why you don't do a deal. What if I were to break the deal? Well, then you shouldn't be doing a deal at all for anything if you think you're going to start breaking deals everywhere. Yeah, chow hall's not great. Not great. But I'll tell you what, though, Dre. The chow hall does a very good salad bar.
It's got to be better than MRE's.
The chow hall, no, we have one first round pick, Steve. Yeah, they don't have the money. This is the time of year. This is that time of year, bro, where it's just like, what else is going on? I mean, you're getting like Andrew Billings gets signed away from whoever last year, and Bears fans like, oh my God, what's Foles doing? It's like a guy that we weren't going to re-sign because, why is he not re-signing people? Have you looked at our salary cap lately? I mean, yeah, Fred nailed it. They have to bitch about something, makes it, this way it's meaningful. Um, but hey, the Chow Hall, going back to that, I mean, dude, MREs is only we're in the field, okay? We're in the
Dude,
rear. We actually get cooked food. Yes, the Army can screw up spaghetti, but you know what? Chow halls are kind of like restaurants, like a chain restaurant, right?
did you
You,
guys
you
touch
ever
on
go?
the?
Hold on, Will. You ever go to like a TGI Fridays? Let's say in one location, it's like, okay, this place is pretty good, and then you go to a different location, it's absolute trash. Well, chow halls are like that too. You get some chow halls which are really good, like their cook is whoever that NCOIC who's the head cook, that chef. Oh my god, just does things with the Army cookbook that shouldn't be done. They're magical. And then you get some where it's like, yep, you're paint by numbers. What was it, Will?
Did you guys talk on the Justin Fields trade earlier or yesterday?
Yesterday you did, yeah.
Well,
Oh,
go back.
I
Did he
missed.
just say Waddle just got traded to Denver?
Yeah.
No way.
That's
Someone-
what Yender's saying.
That would be huge for Bo Nix.
I've actually heard that some of that it just depends on which MRE you get. Some
Yeah, I love
MREs are
MRE.
good and some of them are really bad.
I'm
No,
looking
I
up
mean,
if this is confirmed.
yeah, I'm doing the same. I love MREs, Joe, to be honest with you. There's some MREs which I'll eat any day of the week. The Broncos
It's official.
yeah,
It's
it's
official.
official. They got Waddle.
For
Denver's getting Waddle and the Dolphins' fourth pick. Okay, so wait, what
The
is
fourth overall
Miami
pick?
received? Okay, Miami got the Broncos'
fourth
first round
round.
pick. Hold on. Here's the details. Miami gets the Broncos' first round pick, which is the 30th overall, and their late third and fourth round picks, 30th in each round in this year's draft. So Miami gets a first, a third, and a fourth. Denver gets Waddle and a fourth in this pick, which is 11th. So they actually move up in the fourth round. Does Denver, and they get Waddle.
I like that trade for Denver because you've got someone alongside Sutton.
Yeah. Yeah, Denver just got better.
Yeah, poor Malik Willis.
I like that trade for my I don't like the fact that they got rid of Waddle. I would have held on to him. But I feel like they got good value for him. A first, a third, and a fourth round pick swap is not a bad deal for Waddle.
No,
And you
that's
know what's
really good.
funny? I can't even think who their number one is this
Well,
year.
I was just going to say, I mean, they just got rid of Tyreek Hill. They just got rid of Waddle.
Let me
I mean,
look.
okay, you want to talk about stripping it down to the studs. I think they got rid of the studs too. I think they just got a bunch of plywood now. Miami shed. Look, at Miami's going to suck this year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Joe. The rape cave is going to be empty.
Why are you apologizing to me? I just
Because
like
it's your favorite.
because it's one of our favorite things to
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, they don't
We're not
even
going to be able to say that the overly aggressive aquatic sea mammals are going to the rape cave. We won't be able to say it this year.
Dude,
No.
I
They are
couldn't
going
even
to suck.
name you.
well, we'll
I
still be
couldn't
able to say it. It's just not going to be the Dolphins that are doing the raping. That's all.
I couldn't even tell you who their number one receiver is because all these names are either a second string or a third string or even a fourth.
Yeah,
No one
dude.
can. No one can.
Yeah, I don't care about
The Dolphins,
at
man, they
all.
got some draft picks. I mean,
They got Malik Willis. I mean, they got the fourth. What is it, like the fourth overall pick? No, what's their pick in the first round? It can't be the fourth. They
You're
actually
killing
finished
me.
the season. It's got to be like closer to mid round,
Let me look. I'm
11th or
looking,
12th
looking.
maybe.
Look.
yeah, they're. I think
They're
just
11.
yeah,
And
They're
they're
11.
projected to get Francis Mauagawa, the O
That would
lineman.
be a
very
good pick to protect Malik Willis.
yeah. I hate when they're projected to get. I don't care who they're projected to get because the draft board is still everly changing.
Yeah.
So now you've got. I mean, that's not a bad haul for them. I mean, so now they've got the getting the 30th pick. I mean, it's almost like getting a second round.
If I'm them with number 30, I get a young receiver.
Well, I mean, whatever. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't care what they're going to get.
Oh, I
That's not
don't
the
either.
point. The point is, it's almost like a second rounder to me. It's so late.
Honestly,
I mean, I guess it's tomato, right, Joe? You can look at it as either, like they got an early second round from a from a bad team, you know, that's kind of what the 30th pick is. I mean, it's a first round pick, so you're gonna have a fifth year option. That's about the only good thing that pick brings with it. But it's basically a second round pick with a fifth round option. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, dude. The Dolphins are going to be really bad next year.
Oh,
They'll be eating MREs pretty soon.
Although having Malik Willis, like, see, it just sucks for Malik Willis, like, because you went from a pretty competent roster with the Packers, and now all of a sudden, like, the one chance that you're getting to be a starter and you're making starter money, like, they decide to tear the whole thing down that same year. Yeah. So you're gonna suck, dude.
Is he getting starter money though, Joe?
He's getting low grade starter money. Like, isn't he getting somewhere in the neighborhood of like 25 million, 20 million?
I do have to say, I don't like. I'm not saying they're the best. Not at all the best running back room in the
NFL. Well, here's the thing.
But I like Achane.
We gotta see how this.
And go ahead.
Oh, he's gonna be gone next. But
I like Ollie Gordon.
Okay, hold on. Here's the thing. Waddle with trade carries a negative cap connotation. Now, it depends how they did the numbers on this, but if he's a post June 1st trade, which he can't be because it's for draft picks, right? According to Over the Cap, that just cost the Dolphins $11.6 million in cap.
Oof.
They're dead cap right now.
Yeah, it's monstrous.
Here are the guys they have. Some of the guys they have on dead cap right now. They're not all there yet. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Ramsey, Mika Fitzpatrick, Terran Armstead, James Daniels, Zach Wilson, Alec Ingold, Jonnu Smith, Nick Westbrook, Matt Judon, Jason Sanders, Cam Smith, Mohamed Kamara. That's $89 million in dead cap.
And that's not even counting Tua.
Yet are Tua Tagovailoa and Bradley Chubb, who are post June 1st, and that's going to carry another combined $78 million in dead cap between them. And then if you put Waddle in, that's going to add another 23, possibly another 23, depending on how that trade works out, how the money thing actually works. Dude, I mean, they're going to have more money in dead cap than they are going to be actually on the field.
Yeah.
Dude, that's $170 million in dead cap. That's got to be like the new record. And there, like I said, but you know what? We kind of called this already, and I actually applaud the Dolphins because they're getting the suck out of the way right now, dude. Like we specifically said their best strategy going. Well, I don't know if everybody agreed with me, but I did say, like, I thought their best strategy going forward is to just take all that dead cap now, field a team of basically fourth string fucking replacement players for a year, and then get back at it next year. Like,
Steve, I think it used to be Joe Robbie back in the day with the old stadium, but now I think it's Hard Rock Stadium. With the new
stadium. Yeah, it's Hard Rock.
Yeah. It used to be Joe Robbie, and after it was Joe Robbie, it was Land Shark for a minute. And then it was something else, and then they built Hard Rock.
Ken, I think you agreed, didn't you, that their best bet was just to tear it completely down and take the dead cap this year, and then
because I mean, look at that. That seems to be the best way to do it. I mean, did the Bears do that completely? Not really, but kind of, sort of. But I mean, look at the Bears. Basically, you had a complete overturn in that Bears roster. The Bears roster that was on the field last year, I think 90% of it wasn't there 2 years prior. So, like, you can really turn an entire roster over in 2 to 3 years, where now you go from complete ass to a 10, 12 game winner.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can't. Like, Carolina's taken the long road to get there. Like, they took a year. Like, they started theirs really a year before the Bears did. And last year they kind of finally were getting there. So the Bears did it in 2 years. Carolina did it in 3, kind of thing. This should be the big step here for both teams.
Yep.
I would think. But really 2 to 3 years, you completely. So we should be sitting here in about 2 years going, okay, the Dolphins are going to be good.
Yeah.
depending on how they draft. Yeah.
I mean, look at the Raiders. I mean, you look at the Raiders now, and we were thinking they're going to be like worst team in the league this year. But then after the Max Crosby trade falls through, and you look at the free agent signings, all the money they spent, what they're going to do in the draft as far as getting a quarterback, maybe getting some more weapons or some offensive line. Like the Raiders, all of a sudden, instead of being in year zero, right, of the because if you go year zero, the tear down year. So for Miami, this is year zero, right? Next year is really year one. First year, the real build. This year is year zero. You tore it down. Yes, I know you're adding, but this is basically your tear down year, and you're going to add you're going to add a couple pieces. But this is this is your tear down year. You know you're going to suck. You don't expect anything, right? You're going to pick a guy in the first. You're going to have your picks, and you want them to be part of that nucleus. But this is year zero. Next year is year one. Well, the Raiders get to skip year zero with the way that defense is built now and the offensive weapons they got. Maybe last year was their actual year zero. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what I expect is that they'll improve on their win total from last year. They won't be a playoff team, but they'll be. I think 7 wins is reasonable with the roster that they have constructed right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Captain Obvious. John Dorn to the room with today. Captain Obvious statement: the Raiders don't have a quality. Well, duh. That's why they're drafting one in the draft, number first overall.
Come on, Dorn.
Come on, Dorn.
Wake up. Smell the coffee.
Or maybe he doesn't think that they're going to draft Mendoza. I don't know.
No, he's going to say Mendoza's a bum. He's trash.
Yeah. That would be very on brand for Dorn.
And he's a bust.
Yeah, guaranteed bust.
Caleb is still a bust, Even though Caleb's a bust, Dorn, right? Right, Dorn? Caleb's record against Green Bay is 3-2. Whoops.
Dude, as much as I give crap to Caleb Williams, I'd take him over Jordan Love.
Damn.
I think a lot of people would, unless they're Green Bay fans.
And I'm not a big Caleb
I don't know.
Williams
I don't know
fan.
I don't know if I'm there yet, but I think he certainly made a much better case last year. Like the competition is getting a lot closer. Let's say that.
Hey,
like I like certain things that Caleb does. I like certain things that Caleb does better than Jordan Love.
And Madden, Jordan Love is Jordan Love, but now Caleb Williams also the Iceman.
Come on, John. John Dorn's like who?
Who?
Yeah, you heard me.
Hey, the best moment with Dorn, though, I'm sorry to bring this back up, Dorn. Joe, you were here for it. Was when we had Desmond Clark on, and he ripped Dorn.
Oh, that's great.
Usually we get an NFL player in here, which doesn't really happen often. But we get Des in here. We got the full panel. It was like 10 of us. I mean, it was ridiculous. And I didn't think Desmond. And also, I see Desmond doing this. I'm like, oh, he's reading the comments. Oh shit. I hope he doesn't see Dorn, because I don't want him to get pissed off either, right? And it's like doing this. All of a sudden, I hear, "Hey, John Dorn." Oh crap! Desmond Clark just found you, Dorn. And he just ripped, and he's like, "Yeah, I remember that Packers game. I'm the one who beat you in overtime." Like, just ripped.
Yeah, dude.
Dorn. It was great.
Dorn just said Caleb's a bust.
I guess against your team, you could, Fred. Sure, he's a bust when it comes in terms of beating the Lions. I guess you could say that. Caleb is a huge bust with a better record over the last 2 years than Jordan Love. Oh my goodness!
I think what Dorn is saying there is Caleb's gonna have a bust in the has a better chance of a bust in the Hall of Fame than Jordan Love.
Damn.
Look, I mean, you could say like, well, he's a bust because he hasn't lived up to the hype. Okay, I mean, I could buy that argument even a little bit, because you know what? Oh yeah. Oh wait. Green Bay excuse number 342 incoming. But it was our backups in all 3 games he beat us. That had to be it.
No, but
You know,
didn't he beat your starters in the playoffs though? Like,
he
Yes.
did. He did. But I'm
and
sure
didn't he hit that ice cold dagger to DJ Moore though? It's like,
And you know what?
that
You know
was-
what's so funny? I
stats are doing-
guarantee you. One second. I guarantee you the next comment is going to be like, and like I said, I'm not the biggest Caleb Williams fan. Ken knows this, but I like him better than Jordan Love. I bet you his next comment is, "We didn't have Micah on the field."
And you know what's funny? Because like Micah did a podcast, and Micah's like, I tried, I just couldn't catch that dude. I don't know if I can
Oh,
ever.
come on. What? Worst offseason? Dorn, dude. You're not as much as I ripped the Bears, like I said, they had one of the best off seasons this year.
Well, wait. Does anyone want to tell Dorn about all the stuff the Packers lost?
What did the Packers do? Nothing.
well, they lost a bunch of guys.
Oh, but Matthew Golden is going to be.
They traded Rashawn Gary. They got
Who took a pay cut,
They lost
by the way.
Elton. They lost Elton Jenkins. They lost.
Hey,
Yeah,
Joe,
dude.
did you see that? Rashawn Gary actually took a pay cut to get traded. That's how much
Yeah.
he wanted out of Green Bay. He's like, take $9 million off my contract. Send me to, you ready for this one? Dallas. That's how bad he wanted out of Green Bay.
Man.
But I mean, you gotta love the rivalry. It's a good rivalry. I love Dorn. He knows it. I mean, look, we overhype these guys coming out of the draft. The nice thing about this, Joe, I can say, and I've kind of on purpose not paid as much attention to the combine and draft crap this year to see how my sanity does. I have not heard this yet. Well, he's generational.
Yeah, I haven't heard that about anyone in this draft so far.
Hey, what's the NFC North?
Now we're gonna point. Damn, we're down to like grammar, attacking grammar, spelling now. No, dude, but I haven't heard that about Mendoza, and I'm actually happy about that. Like, take the expectations off the kid. You know, we don't need him to be generational before he even takes the field. The Raiders don't need him to be generational, period. Like, they just need him to be pretty good. Like, if you look at what the Raiders have had to deal with as far as quarterback play for the last 3 seasons, like, if Mendoza is even decent, if he's even pretty good, you're going to see a huge step forward for that team, because we've been dealing with absolute dog shit at quarterback for the last 3 years, dude. Like, when the most talented quarterback on your roster is Kenny Pickett, like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's not even hyperbole. Like,
your most talented wide receiver on your roster right now is Golden.
I would say Watkins. Watkins has the most physical talent. He's just injured a lot.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what
or Watson. I mean, not Watkins. Christian Watson.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, I think he's the most talented guy on their team right now, or talented wide receiver at least.
And that's not saying much.
And Jalen Reed is pretty good too. I'll give him that.
Well, it's not like they took him back.
Yeah, they didn't really have a choice in the matter.
They didn't have a choice in the matter, but it worked out better for them, I think, in the long run. I look forward to the Bears-Packer games this year, man. You're not safe anymore, Joe. Raiders are Jets 2.0. Doesn't matter what they do, they still suck. Hey, you know what's funny, Joe? Hold on, I love to be able to do this. Can I do this, Joe? Can I? Please?
Feel free.
Hey, guess who has more Super Bowls since 1980? The Bears or the Packers or the Raiders?
Actually, I think they're tied. No? Yeah, they're tied. Because the Packers won in 96 and they won in 2010. The Raiders won in 80 and 83. The Raiders have one pick in the first round now. They have the first overall, and they're going to take Mendoza, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the Raiders have 3 Lombardis overall.
Yeah. But It doesn't bother me. Obviously, Doran, I guess, isn't a fan of Clint Kubiak. He doesn't think that he's a good coach. I do. I think he's got a shot. But we're not going back to those dinosaur trophies, bro. Like
No,
we're
because
talking about.
when Bears fans say, yeah, but the Bears have 9, the Packers fan well, it's only about the Super Bowl. Okay, whatever. They're like St. Louis Cardinal fans in a weird way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Broncos got a good deal. I'm not going to call it necessarily a steal because they still, a first and a third and a fourth round pick swap. Yeah, is a good. It's a good trade for both sides.
It is because Waddle does have some injury concerns. He really, he's had a couple 1,000-yard seasons. Don't get me wrong, but he hasn't been. This could be his chance to be a number 1. But the problem.
And it's like, what's his name? What's your name, dude? The guy on the panel with us right now.
Will?
Will, I'm sorry. So it's like Will said, it's not just bringing Waddle to the team; it's what he does for Courtland Sutton that I think is the real winner in this trade for them. Is like they've had to rely on Courtland Sutton, and Sutton is a good receiver, but he's like he's going to have 1 or 2 splash plays a game. Like now it's like you have another guy that can make 1 or 2 splash plays a game. And he's a deep threat, so they're going to have to like really watch him,
I guess Dorn's a Dolphins fan now. He's calling the Miami Packers.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. What atrocities did I miss in the chat?
Dorn's now a Miami Dolphins / Miami Packers fan, so he's gonna have 2 teams in the basement this year.
Damn, okay. Shots fired. No, I was actually saying with you, Will, I was saying that I agree with you that I think the best part of this trade for Denver is not so. It's good that they got Waddle because they have another guy to go with Sutton, but it's what Waddle does for Sutton that I think is a big part of this trade too.
Well, JB mentioned that Buffalo was trying to get him. Could you imagine if Buffalo had Waddle and DJ Moore?
That'd be scary. Ken, so what does the Miami Packers look like? Is it like a dolphin that's green and yellow that looks seasick?
Yeah, that's about it. I would too if I was called the Packers and I lived in Miami.
Yeah.
Sick to my stomach. Oh God.
It's a dolphin humping the G in the rape cave.
Probably.
2 seconds and a fifth.
Oh, interesting. What's up, JB?
It depends how early the first second was. If it was like, it's the problem. I don't know where that other second was. But you're still talking. Let's say even if it's 10 slots different from that first, it's that 5th-year option you get from the guy at drafting him at 30. Like, okay, let's say they offered him the 33rd pick overall. So like first pick in the 2nd round, let's say. Okay, that's great, but you know what that pick doesn't carry, that the 30th pick carries? A 5th-year option. Okay, they did it by year. Yeah, I don't blame him for going with that, but once again, even if that pick, let's say, was the first pick of the 2nd round, I think you would still go with the 1st-round pick because, okay, it's only 2 slots, but guess what? You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
A 5th-year option.
It's like
so. Nothing to be said about that.
It was traded up to 32 to take Lamar, right? They could have waited until the 2nd round, but they specifically last pick of the 1st round so that they can get that 5th-year option on him. It's smart business, but it makes Denver a better team. And although Denver has lost some people in free agency too.
Yeah.
There's been some addition by subtraction going on, and like I get, like look at the Bears. If you look at their linebacking core, it's a lot. Dude, they've got a full linebacking room right now, and I like it. We got Hippolyte there. You've got Sewell. You've got Bush. It's a good, solid line. I don't think the Bears are drafting linebacker. You look at the defensive line; they didn't really do much. They got rid of Billings, who was a rotational guy now. They didn't re-sign him, but I think that's where they're drafting that in the safety room because they've only got 3 safeties, I believe, under contract. So you're probably gonna want like a high end, first, second round guy who can be a starter immediately in Chicago. Um, Offensively, you might draft a receiver at some point, even though I think they've got enough talent there. But the Bears are doing offensive line, defensive line, safety, maybe corner. I mean, if people go, oh, but look at all these people who left Chicago. Okay, let's look at all the people that left Chicago. Some decent players, some good players, even, right? But some older players. And then people are asking in the league when you look at these guys who left from the safety room where they're all getting about $5 million apiece. Okay, is that like indicative of just that the Bears have a good system and these guys perform well in a system that's designed to make them perform well, or are these guys actually really good? Right? I mean, yep. Get ready for your show, JB. So I mean, when you look at teams getting rid of players, I mean, yeah, but they got rid of players, but what they bring in? And sometimes I think we get too attached to certain players. Like, Edmonds was a hometown guy. I liked Edmonds, but he wasn't worth the money we were paying him, so it made sense to get rid of him and bring in a Devin Bush. You look at the Kobe Bryant deal. You just got younger, and you got a stud safety and got younger. Yeah, you let a stud safety go out the door who's 32 years old in Kevin Byard. And I like Kevin Byard a lot. I think he's still got a year or two of juice in him. But now you got a guy you can keep 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, so you got to look at those. I mean, I think fans get overly critical when they go, look at everything that left the door. What'd you replace it with? That's one side of it. And the other side is you look at what the Packers lost. They're going to be looking at the draft, and they're hoping their young guys that we haven't really seen much of develop. That's the other piece of it. So while we're trashing the Packers, it's not real all doom and gloom for them. If their young guys step up, they'll look good. Big if. But, it is pretty bad.
Yeah, I kind of see them as a team in flux right now.
I do too. I mean, they have money. They could spend money. They're just not.
Yeah, but I mean, they have questions. Maybe not as huge of questions as the Bears had going into last year, but they have questions on the offensive line. Now they have questions. Is Lucas Van Ness going to be that guy besides Micah Parsons?
Well, I think part of it, Joe, is they made that big swing last year, which we all lauded them for, get Micah Parsons. And then they went draft the receiver in the first round, first time in 2 decades. And I think it was kind of like an all-in move because you had to save jobs, right? I think Goody and LaFleur, their jobs were on the line. The Micah Parsons trade saved it. But the problem is they didn't have the wherewithal to keep it together over one season. And then unfortunately for them, Micah Parsons gets hurt, and they're one and done again in the playoffs. But it was enough to save some jobs.
For now, yeah.
So,
but I mean, Josh Jacobs is another year older, another year with injuries that he dealt with, and it's like I love Josh Jacobs, so I'm not trying to crap on the dude at all. Like he's exactly the kind of guy you want on your team, but he's just his body, man, is starting to betray him. Like I can't think of a single season that he stayed healthy the whole season since he's been a Raider, let alone a Raider or a Packer. Like I can't think of a single season where he didn't miss at least 1-2 games.
Well, and if you're Green Bay, who's your backup right now? Because Jordan Love every year now.
Isn't it Marshawn Lloyd?
Is it? I don't know. Because they look at
know what, Ken?
The point I'm making, Will, is that we don't have. It's not like a guy you're like, oh yeah, because Love is going to miss a couple games. The last couple years, he's missed at least 2 or 3 games a season, at least.
Hey, Ken, I have a question for you. Why are we asking about who the Packers backup is? Because we don't care. Because FTP, as JB likes to allude.
But I mean, look, when Packer fans like Dorn want to come on and talk a little trash, it's like, all right, who's your backup? Because Love is going to miss a couple games. He's not
their quarterback backup. Let me look. It's probably some guy we've never heard of or
Yeah, because
heard
they
of.
lost Willis, but they were, from what I was reading yesterday, the Packers were actually in on the Justin Fields thing. They were actually trying to get Justin Fields over there.
And he chose to go to
Ken,
Yeah.
their backup is either Kyle McCord or Desmond Ritter, which I liked McCord his last year at Syracuse, but the guy's not NFL ready yet.
Oh, so they got
Ritter,
Caleb's old backup.
huh?
Wasn't Ritter Caleb's backup at one point in college?
No, Ritter was a Falcon.
No,
No,
in
he
college.
said in college. No, Ritter, who did he play
That
for in
wasn't-
college? It was one of the
Cincinnati.
Carolina. Oh, yeah, Cincinnati. That's right.
And then
Um,
Jacob's backup is either Marshawn Lloyd or Damian Martinez or
It-
Pierre Strong Jr.
it's
So,
not. It's
guess
not
what?
Lloyd.
Good
Lloyd
luck.
is. They're not high on Lloyd. I think they're actually like at the point where they're probably going to end up getting rid of him.
And you
Well,
know
At
what do you
what?
least
guys
from
think
what I
about
this
remember, I
right
could
now
be
What do you
wrong.
guys
Pack-
think about this? What do you guys think about this from Fred? He says, in his opinion, the Packers' window is closing quicker than the Lions.
Yes, 100%. You know why? Because I don't think they have a clear number one receiver because Christian Watson is injury prone. They just got Sky Moore. Like, they don't have that name that says, I'm a number one receiver.
I disagree. Um, Not that I'm like a huge Packers fan or anything, but I think the Packers have more stability. They have Love signed up for the next 3-4 years. The Lions are they're getting into that point of Jared Goff's contract where it's like the cap hit is monstrous. They're losing offensive line, they're hemorrhaging offensive linemen. They have more skill players for sure. The Lions have more skill players, but now they just lost Anzalone. They lost they're losing. They lost Reader. They're the defensive players. Like I don't know.
Oh, but wait, but according to the villain squad, they're saved, Joe. They got Larry Borum on the offensive line.
I think the Packers'
Sorry, Bill.
future is closing faster because I think the Lions are going to be okay for the next few years.
I think offensively the Lions are better off than the Packers are. Defensively, I'm not sure yet. But you know what? This is a thought I had as I look at my Khalil Mack jersey on my wall, signed by Khalil Mack. The Packers just got Macked.
Wait, you got to meet Khalil Mack?
No, I just got a signed jersey from him.
Oh, nice.
But I mean, the Packers got Macked. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
So the Bears go out, get Khalil Mack, win the division in 2018. Go to the playoffs. We all know what happened there. He has three decent years in Chicago, but the team never got over the hump for a myriad of different reasons. I think the Packers just got done the same way. Same type of deal. Give up 2 firsts to get that star edge rusher. Except you get to the playoffs last year, win 1, but now you're seeing some dismantling of the team. And yeah, Parsons is still Parsons. He's still going to be good. That rest of that defense isn't going to be as good now. And their offense is losing some production people like Dobbs and other people and offensive line issues. If they would have gotten him a year earlier, it might be a different story. But I think Micah Parsons, 3 years in Green Bay, and he's elsewhere. They're going to trade him, get rid of him. It's kind of like the situation you had Khalil Mack. Because like when we got rid of Khalil Mack, man, it was kind of like Bears fans are torn. Because we understood we need to get rid of Mack because we need the cap space because we were kind of sucking, right? Or the old regime. But they weren't going to do much. They weren't going to do much with Mack on that team. I think the Packers could be in the same boat with Micah Parsons.
And you know what? Fred's got a great point.
I'll get to it. Thank you.
Sorry.
But I think Micah Parsons and the Packers, Joe, are kind of like Khalil Mack and the Bears were. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I can definitely see the parallels. And the thing is, like now it's like you lost Dobbs, so you need receiver help, but you don't have a first round pick to go get a receiver because you traded it for Micah Parsons. It's you need offensive line help, but you can't get one of the premier guys because your first round pick is gone.
The next
And
2
they're
years.
all gone in free agency.
The next 2 years.
Yeah, it's for the next 2 years. So you're right. So your only hope really is like a mid-season like trade deadline kind of a deal where you can hopefully get a guy for less than you would pay in the off season. That's really your only hope to fix that offensive the offense. Getting Tucker Kraft back is going to be huge though for them, but he's coming off an ACL, so we'll see. Like usually your first year back after an ACL, you don't have all-star numbers. Like not everybody's Adrian Peterson.
You've got 21 million in cap, right? That's not a lot considering what you don't have on this team. 21 million cap, and you don't have much. Oh yeah, no, Fred. Yeah, they're more than just like now. They're definitely more than Micah Parsons away. I think last year though they were a legit Super Bowl threat until Parsons went out, and I would say they were a low tier Super Bowl threat at that. But now they got money issues because Parsons this year, not bad. Only 19.2 million against the cap. Jordan Love 36 mil against the cap. Josh Jacobs 14 mil. Devontae White 12, almost 13 mil. 12 mil to Aaron Banks. Zach Tom, who I really like as a lineman, is actually relatively cheap for his skill at 11.8.
That's a deal.
Yeah. I mean, and they got a bunch of 3, 4, 7s, 6s. But the Packers need a lot more. And the next 2 years, you're not getting that blue chip in the first round. And look at Golden didn't pan out last year. Their wide receiving core has got some issues. Your tight end room's okay when they're healthy. Key word, when they're healthy.
Now your defense just lost a couple guys too. Like you traded Rashawn Gary, which like I get, okay, he wasn't producing at the level that you thought he should for that amount of money. Like, okay, but he's better than Lucas Van Ness, I think.
I'll say this. Right now, the Packers' dead cap is Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, Elton Jenkins, and Colby Wooden at just over 39 mil. That's respectable. That's not terrible, right? That's respectable. But, yeah, the thing with the last 2 years, you've lost Rashawn Gary. You've lost Kenny Clark. You've lost some people. Some good people. Now, looking at the Detroit Lions, well, obviously your offensive line is offensively, your receiving core is pretty much intact. Your running back room, you made a swap out, Monty for Pacheco. Okay, I mean, I think Monty's better fit than Pacheco, but whatever. Still, your offense, I think, is going to be pretty decent. It's just how good's that offensive line going to be? Defensively, I think Luis Anzalone is a little bit bigger than people think. He was kind of the heart and soul of that defense in a way. A lot of people say, "Oh, but Hutch." No. Anzalone was a guy directing traffic, and he was that locker room guy, and I think they're going to miss him.
I think
Their
they're going to miss
secondary is
him
still
too,
bad.
but I think Jack Campbell has played well enough to be that vocal leader.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
they also lost Reeder.
I think Jack Campbell, if he steps up, I could agree with that, Will. But we got to see him step up, and I think he might. But I think I agree with Fred though that the Lions are ahead of the Packers right now. And the biggest wild card in all of this in the NFC North is the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, there's the great unknown.
I think they're going to be better with Kyler. I do.
I think whether it's Kyler or JJ, they're better because if JJ plays a whole season, we saw flashes last year. With Kyler pushing him, though, if JJ wins it out, they have that team offensively. They still have some weapons. Defensively, they got rid of a washed-up guy who's now Green Bay. Now Green Bay swears he's the best thing ever. But I love how that happens. They're trash when they're on another team. The second Packers sign him, he's the best guy ever. I know he was a green dot, but that doesn't. You know what I mean, Fred?
I don't know.
Was a lot more than.
I don't know, man. I don't. This is just me. I don't see any way, other than if they're just strictly biased. I don't see any way that JJ McCarthy beats Kyler Murray out for the starting job. unless they're like just leaning towards, we want JJ to start no matter what, and we just brought Kyler in for competition or to like push him. I don't see any way talent wise that he beats him out, dude.
I kind of agree with you, but that's like if you go down to Atlanta, who's the starting quarterback there? Is it Tua?
Honestly, at this point, I think it might be because he's shown more than Penix has. Although I think Penix still has a chance to be a good player. He just needs time and he needs to stay healthy. But
I mean, what you just said though, I could take the JJ and say the same thing.
Yeah,
I think JJ's got some better flashes. It's well, as we start breaking down these divisions. I mean, the NFC North is going to be interesting this year, but don't sleep on the Minnesota Vikings. Do not sleep on the Minnesota Vikings. Tutu Atwell is the only decent wide receiver.
that's their number one. Oh, dude. And the guy I feel for the most is Malik Willis.
Where does Achane go? We got about a minute left. About a minute and a half. Where does Achane go?
Do you think they really get rid of him? I mean,
why not? They're cleaning house.
Because you got to keep somebody, man. Like,
do you?
Achane's a good player.
Ollie Gordon, who's a decent backup. I don't know. I don't know the running back league rooms.
I mean, look at man, running backs don't have that long of a shelf life in the NFL, so you might as well get some for him while you can this year. So where would you send Achane? We got about a minute.
I'd take him in Carolina behind Chuba Hubbard because Brooks is injury prone.
Hey, you got rid of Uncle Rico. Go trade for Achane. There you go.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. The Texans got rid of Joe Mixon, so I would actually say the Texans would be a good spot with him and Monty together.
Oh, yeah. Achane to Washington. There we go. Okay. So that's your homework for today, guys. Where's Achane going to go? We'll talk about that one tomorrow.
And I'll be back tomorrow, Ken.
Sweet. As Ken is doing physical therapy, dude, I went and got my tetanus shot yesterday because I was due. My arm is still sore. And, of course, that's the arm the baby wanted to lay on yesterday while we were watching TV.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I'm still sore.
Grandpa's
so go get your shots. Don't forget immunize. Get your shots if you need them. I went and got my my tetanus done yesterday. Hey guys, good talk this morning. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Thank you guys for joining us. We even had a thought bot jump in today. I didn't put her up on screen. That was always kind of funny in the comments. We'll see you guys tomorrow. So for Joe and Will, have a great football day, everyone. Keep your eyes peeled. We'll see what happens next year. Where's Achane going to go?
Peace.